Things just got worse and worse and worse as the night went on. Again, valiant effort down the stretch for the Bucks. Just too little, too late. Let's go down and let's see what Coach Fletch and the rest of the crew has to say. And as always, go Bulls. So let's head into the locker room right now and see what the guys have to say about that one. Wow. Where do the Buccaneers go from here? What an incredible atmosphere. What a good win for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They snapped a 7-game winning streak. How we feeling, Bucs Nation? It's time to party, baby.
What is going on, everybody? Happy November 4th, 2025. Welcome to the Recher podcast. Hope everybody's having a wonderful week, whether you're here in the Tampa Bay area or abroad. Man, it's I tell you what, man, it's been a crazy 48 hours. I don't know what it is, but it's like everybody and their mother texting, calling. Like, it has just been one of those weeks already. Busy, but busy is good, right? Busy is good. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. I am everywhere. Like and subscribe on YouTube as well. A big thank you to our partners, Honest Hammer Custom Builders, LLC, and EverHealth. Remember, our EverHealth injury report is going to be at 12:30 tomorrow. Dr. Rodriguez is going on vacation Wednesday night. So, Dr. Rod, man, going up to Georgia. So we're going to move it from Thursday to Wednesday this week. So we'll have Dr. Rodriguez joining us at 12:30. We'll have Eric Erlinson joining us at 1. Good stuff as well. What do we have coming up on the program today? Of course, we're going to talk some Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're back in action on Sunday at home at Raymond James Stadium against the New England Patriots. 6-2 Bucks against the 7-2 New England Patriots. That should be a good one. Scott Reynolds from Pewter Report is going to join us at 12:30 today. Have you been keeping up with what's going on at Pewter Report? You better have, because they've got some good stuff going on. Scott has... And of course, Manny Matera and the whole crew over there. Last week, they had Bruce Arians on. Monday, they had John Gruden on, and I was watching it a little bit before. Great stuff and fantastic relationships that they've developed and built over the years. So really, really fun stuff. I watched a lot this morning. So in preparation for the show, it's people ask me, like, how do you prepare for the show? Is it similar? Is it different to when you were on the radio? And I think it's very similar to the point of it's an all day, everyday thing. Like, I'm consuming sports information pretty much all day, every day. It never stops and starts. And it's kind of like, it goes back to the joke of what Ian Beckles, we were talking about this at the Dignitary Cafe a couple years ago. And I said, man, I got to watch sports all the time. It's my job. And he looked at me, he goes, you'd be watching sports all day, every day anyway. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. That's just, and I say this to anybody, and especially to a lot of the kids that I coach, and to anybody that's kind of looking for their career path. Try to do something that you enjoy, do something that you love, and you're going to spend the majority of your life working for the most part. So why not do something and indulge in something you absolutely love? And I knew from a very early age, as I saw my dad work 3 jobs to keep food on the table and a roof over our heads. When I saw my mom, being a lunch lady and working her ass off in the local school district, I looked at them and what they were able to do to help 4 kids graduate. I said to myself, man, I don't want to work a regular 9-to-5 job. I don't want to work a day where I'm dreading getting up. And I've worked jobs like that. And it's just, oh, God, I just didn't want to do that. So I knew very early on I wanted to be in sports broadcasting. I want to do something of that ilk. So now, being broadcasting, podcasting, coaching, I mean, it's kind of the best of all of the worlds that I've kind of, just dip my toe into of my profession, of my career. And ironically enough, today is the 1-year anniversary of being let go by WDAE and iHeart. And, I wasn't going to make a whole big segment out of it. I wasn't going to make a big old stink about it. But I just got a text like 5 minutes before the show started from my buddy, Zach Blobner, who was my last co-host on WDAE. Jay and Zach heard every day at noon. I saw John Momola put out a post on Facebook as well. Um, and it's kind of crazy how it's been 365 days, and as much as things change, as much as they stay the same, I still cover USF, and I still cover the Bucks, and I still cover the Lightning, and still the Rowdies and the Sun and high school sports, and I'm still talking about sports every day at noon here with you. And I think some of the things that I've learned over the last year is your career and your job is what you do. It's not who you are. And a lot of people, after getting let go, and I posted the video a day later on my social media, it's still pinned to the top of my Twitter. I was in a good headspace then, and I'm still in a good headspace now, because I feel like the perspective that I had, I think I'm very fortunate to have that. I still think I look at my life, and I don't look back at those times with regret. I don't have any hate in my heart. I don't look at it as like a bad thing that happened to me. I can't, I don't, it's my job. And I think that's part of the reason why I was able to advance as quickly as I did in the radio life. I started in radio when I was 28. I already had a full career of coaching for 10, almost 10 years, winning a World Series and traveling all over the country and coaching. Like, I thought I was going to be a baseball coach. Like, if I would have stayed down that path, then, I would have been coaching in the minors, maybe coaching in the major leagues by now, who knows, or a college. Right. But I got into radio, and what I was able to do with WDAE, like, man, I'm so lucky to be able to make those relationships and to meet all these people and to be able to experience all the things. Like, I don't look back on what happened a year ago with any type of negativity or ill will. It was just kind of it was a chapter closing. And I'm a big person that, you want to focus on the things that you can control in your life. I didn't have any control over that. If I would have looked back on that and said, well, if I worked harder, if I showed up earlier, if I stayed later, if I was better to people, then maybe I would have regrets. But I don't like, I won employee of the month there. I was on the hurricane crew. Like, I did a lot of great things, and more importantly, I worked with a lot of great people. And the fact that I can still walk back into that building for a segment with Pat and Aaron, or if I need something to get printed out, like they let me use their printer there every once in a while. I mean, that just shows that I left a good account of myself, right? I mean, I still have great friends over there. I have no ill will towards WDAE or iHeart. Like, it's just, my number was called. It is what it is. I don't operate that way. We only have so much energy to give, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give out negative energy at all. Like, I can't do that. I mean, I want to spread as much good energy and good vibes and good karma to as many people as possible. I'm not going to sit here and waste my time with negative thoughts. Forget about negative energy, negative words, negative actions. I don't want negative thoughts occupying my headspace. Life is hard enough. And I've always said, like, the hardest thing for me living in the state of Florida is being away from my family. I don't think you guys really understand. And I miss my family terribly on a day in, day out basis. I've been here 20 years. My dad just celebrated a birthday over the weekend. My mom's birthday is coming up on Thursday, right? I have 6 nieces and nephews that are the world to me. I love them so much. Lawson, Sydney, Ryland, Savannah, Harper, and Rio. Like, that's my world right there, man. My brothers, my sisters. Like, it's so hard to be away from them. So when I think about, like, my profession, when I think about my job, that's not the hard part. The hard part's not seeing Savannah score freaking 6 goals at her soccer game, and Lawson playing football and hockey in the same day. The maniac that's what his Uncle Jay would do. Like, that's the hard stuff. The hard stuff is not being there and celebrating my dad's birthday with him and my mom's birthday with her. Like, that's the hard stuff. So when I look back at my time at WDAE, it's all good, man. And I'm not just saying that because you know me. If you've learned anything about me here on this show, I hate me, love me, whatever. But I don't say anything that I don't mean. If you want to fault me for that, fine. But you're not going to get anything that somebody told me to say. You're not going to get something that maybe I'm saying something to be facetious or disingenuous or passive aggressive. I don't operate like that. I'm a passionate dude. I say what's on my mind. I love hard. All right. I care about the people that are in my circle, and I am willing to go above and beyond to be one of the voices of sports here in Tampa Bay. I've earned that right, and I take that shit seriously. It means the world to me that my opinion counts and is valued in this city. And again, I go back to the conversation that I had with our pal Tom Jones, who was on with Rick Stroud for many years, wrote in the Tampa Bay Times, now works for the Poynter Institute. And we had a discussion one time, and he kind of got on my case. And this is when I was hosting at DAE. He goes, your opinion counts. You're one of the few people here in this city where it does matter what you say. Don't be flippant with your opinion and think that nobody cares. People do. I take that to heart, man. And that's why you'll never hear me be a hot take artist. You're never going to hear me say some shit because it's going to get headlines or ratings or anything like that. I say it because I want to say it. And I'm not going to just cover football all the time like a lot of other people do. I'm going to show love to the Rowdies and USF and the Sun and everybody in high school sports. It's just the way I roll. But I want to show love to, of course, everybody that has supported me here on the show. And again, it was great to hear from Zach, man. He's doing his thing now. And that's the thing is like everybody goes in their own direction, right? Everybody has their own journey in life. So we see Zach just got out of the business. He was doing some stuff with our pal Brandon in Orlando for a little while. Now he's doing stuff with the College Hunks moving, man, doing really good stuff with them and their marketing and social media and growing their brand. We see John Momola going with Barrett Sports and Barrett News, Barrett Media, and writing articles. And like everybody has their own path. My whole thing is like, I never want to tell anybody else how to do their thing. Go do what you got to do, man. We live one life. You're born alone, you die alone. You hate to say it, and especially me, for somebody who loves his family so much and who loves everybody here on the show, but like you have to make decisions that is the best thing for you and then your family. And right, like life is short, man. We're just a small speck of dust in the entire landscape of everything. That's why I implore everybody to go out there, spend that money, man. You'll make it back. Take that trip, take that vacation, drive the 2 hours to spend 30 minutes with your brother, your sister, your loved one, anybody. And again, I don't know if my perspective changed because the last thing that I did for WDAE was the celebration of life for Amir Abdur-Rahim, but I mean, everything happens for a reason. And last night when you see Coach Brian Hodgson and Coach Michelle Woods-Baxter both getting their first win for USF at the Yuengling Center, like that's special. That's special as hell. And I always sat there listening to Amir. And I thought to myself, this is the kind of guy you want to surround yourself with. This is the kind of person that you want to listen to, you want to follow. Forget basketball. Forget sports. That's the kind of person that you want to be around. And even though my dad worked 3 jobs so that the 4 of us kids could thrive and survive, and my mom could put food on the table and we keep a roof over our heads, he would always tell people, he would always tell us, rather, treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't do anything else to anybody that you wouldn't want done to yourself. And then you sit there at the Yuengling Center and you listen to Amir Abdur-Rahim. 30 years after my dad would tell me that as a 10-year-old or a 7 or 8-year-old. And I'm sitting there in the press room at the Yuengling Center, and Amir Abdur-Rahim is saying the same freaking thing to me and the people there. And the lessons that he was teaching these young student athletes is the same thing that my dad was teaching myself and my siblings growing up. That's not a coincidence. Surround yourself with good people. Promote good energy and good vibes, and go live your life. Live your life in a positive fashion. My favorite quote, and I always butcher it, Jackie Robinson: a life is not important, but the impact that it has on each other. Like, I never say it right, but you know what I mean. A life is judged by the impact you have on other people's lives. Like, that's, you want your legacy. You want to be remembered when you leave this earth as somebody whose presence made a freaking difference. That's a big reason why I got back into coaching. And I go into a tournament 2 weeks ago with a team that was 0-3. And we win 2 of our first 3 games. And after our second win, I bring all the teams together. I bring the parents together. And I tell them, this is why I got back into coaching. Because you see people put in the work, put in the effort, trust each other. And then you see them become a better player. And you see them become a better version of themselves. You see how they treat other people. That is so impactful. Because as I, in a couple of weeks, take a couple of days off, and I'm going to a wedding in St. Thomas with one of my former players, Danny Gutcher. And Gutch is a guy that from 7 years old and 8 years old was a guy that believed in me as a coach, as a young man, as a kid. His dad, Alan, his mom, Carol, they put all of their faith in me to not just be their son's baseball coach, but a leader and a person that, hey, man, this is the right way to live. This is the way to hold yourself. This is the way to act. And it wasn't just, me, of course. It takes a village. But you look at Danny grow up, and he's such a mature kid. And obviously his parents have a lot to do with that, the most to do with that, but just to be a small part of that. I don't take that for granted. I never did. And then Danny wins a state championship at Gaither. And then Danny goes to USF and gets a scholarship and kills it at Eckerd, and then goes to UT. And then wins the national championship in his final game collegiately. And now he goes on. He's a successful young entrepreneur in this Tampa Bay area. And that kid's getting married now. And he's building a life with him and his beautiful wife, soon-to-be wife. I wouldn't miss that for the world. The travel's going to be nuts. Traveling to Puerto Rico, staying overnight, then taking the plane to St. Thomas, taking a ferry, blah, 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 and then going to New York for Thanksgiving. It's going to be crazy. But you do that. You do that for the people you love. It's a memory. It's something that you got to do, man. You got to do it. So on this day, again, 1 year later, I don't look back at what happened a year ago with any type of remorse, any type of regret, any type of sadness. I know not everybody is going to look at it like that. I know that people could be in a similar position and it could be a crush. I know that, but this is my experience. This is my point of view. This is my perspective. And it goes back to my parents. It always does. You compartmentalize things. You prioritize what is important to you. This is what I do. This is not who I am. I love being here with you guys every day. I love talking sports, but this does not define who I am. I'm Doug and Sue's son, first and foremost, right? To me, that's who I am. And if this microphone doesn't work and this light turns off and this computer doesn't work, I'm still going to be their son, even if there's no such thing as the Recher podcast. I live my life in that way. And that's why I continue to work my ass off, because I don't know any other way. That's why I still cover. People ask me, do you get paid for going all the cover these? No, I don't. Certain times I do. When I do the sticks and stool stuff, and when I did USF football pre and post game. Yeah, but when I go cover these games, I don't get paid anymore to go to USF or to go to Bucks or to go to anything, Rowdies. I don't get paid more to go to that. but I do it because it's the right thing to do. And I'm going to spend my time at these places here locally to support our teams and to make sure that when I speak and I give my opinion on the topics here in the Tampa Bay area, that I am speaking from firsthand knowledge, not something I saw on television, not something that somebody else told me. I'm giving you my opinion because I was there and I talked to the athletes and I experienced that with the people that were in attendance. I'm always going to go like, I'm going to do that, man. I'm always going to be that person. And that's something that I can promise everybody and all you guys, and from Eddie to Nathan and David Terry and Dolan and Evolve and Benny and Jake, all you guys. And I see you there, Rolly, and I know Janet Best, everybody that supported me in this entire journey since we started the podcast. I think today is episode 184 since we started in the beginning of January. I hope to think that the way that I carried myself and the way that I treat people is part of the reason why I've been able to carry this from WDAE here to the Jay Recher podcast. And I will continue to do so. So thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the support. Again, it does not stop here. We're going to keep on rolling. We're going to keep on doing good in our community. We're going to keep on supporting our teams here locally. But it's fun to look back and you know, a year ago today, man, you didn't know I didn't know what the future held. I did not. But it just shows you, it's an example of like, hey, bet on yourself. If you're willing to put in the time, if you are willing to bet on yourself, nothing can stop you. Nothing. The mind is a powerful thing. It really is. We've seen people all over the world do things that people told them that they had no chance of doing. This is small. This is small potatoes. This is, you know, I'm not coming up with a cure for cancer. I'm not doing, you know, I'm talking sports. But I'm working my ass off for you guys. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So again, thank you all. You know, I sit there and I'm watching this morning as I'm preparing for the show. I'm watching the Baker Mayfield last night from the Manning cast, and I'm just smiling the whole time and laughing. I mean, what a great episode with him on it. The back and forth on that. Sometimes the Manning cast can get a little stale. People ask me, what do you think of the Manning cast? I think sometimes it's good. Sometimes it gets a little stale because it's tough because Peyton and Eli aren't in the same place. They're at two separate locations, so the timing is tough. They've done a great job of learning. And hello to Karen. I see you out there, Karen Clemente. But I feel like when you have a good back and forth, when you have a good, when there's good timing, man, you hit it like you did last night. And I thought it was fantastic with Baker Mayfield. And we're just so lucky to have a guy like that in our community, aren't we? I mean, as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline at 4:00 today, and it would be great to see the Buccaneers make a move. And did you see how good Calais Campbell played last night? Our pal Josh, one of Ian's good buddies, he texted me and he said, bro, look at this guy. Look at this guy. I said, yeah, go get Calais Campbell. And he's not going to cost you a ton. You make a move, baby. Make a move. Bring somebody in. But we'll see. But I just thought it was so cool that Baker was on there and he's in such a good headspace. And the fact that he was able to just chop it up with Peyton and Eli, I thought that was really classy, really cool. And it was one of their best guests of the entire season. Very excited to see what the Buccaneers are all about this weekend. It's going to be a tough matchup because it's a well-coached team with Mike Vrabel and the Patriots on Sunday. This is a team that's you usually think for a young team, home cooking to be okay. On the road, maybe that's what this team is, road warriors. That means a lot. It means that defense and special teams they focus on. That means they don't turn the football over. It means they're well coached. So the Buccaneers they have to be buttoned up this Sunday. And we'll see as the injury report comes out, and we'll hear from Todd Bowles as the week goes on, who will be available. Because that's a great question. Because we don't know. We don't know. When can we see Godwin back? I saw the great news yesterday with Luke Gedeke. They're starting the window, 21 days to be able to get him back. That's a beautiful thing to see. Does he return Sunday? Does he return next week? I don't know. But the fact that we're getting closer and closer to getting 4/5 of this offensive line back to where we thought it was going to be to start the season is a very positive sign for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Positive sign last night at the Yingling Center as the USF women's basketball team and the USF men's basketball team were victorious. A win in the debut for Michelle Woods-Baxter in her first game since taking over from Jose Fernandez, and then Coach Brian Hodson, his first win since taking over from Ben Fletcher, the interim coach last year. It's great to hear from Coach Hodson. He's saying like he was not thrilled with how the team played last night, and just watching the game and watching some of the highlights this morning, I'm with him. You know, the defense was the execution wasn't great, but still they still scored over 100 points. The pace is crazy. They get up and down. If you have an opportunity to go watch this men's basketball team and the women, but I'm just saying for the men in this particular instance, dude, it is going to be a fun team to watch. To see Rob Higgins there, to be able to give the basketball to both of the coaches for their first win at USF, to see Derek Brooks. And what a great interview that we had with Derek Brooks yesterday on the program. That's right here on the channel if you missed it. We had some technical difficulties, but we finally got Double Nickel on the show. Good things coming for USF. And Thursday, the matchup with UTSA. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there. I'm actually going to be at the Denard Span Foundation Gala. And if you're looking for tickets, denardspanfoundation.org. Please come out, be in attendance, support us. I'll be on the panel with Denard and Annie. It's going to be fun. At the end of the entire gala, we have like a nice little chat. We always have a blast with that. But yeah, UTSA, USF, Thursday night from Raymond James. And we know that SportsCenter is going to be on campus on Thursday. They're letting everybody know. And all the information, I love the article Joey Knight put up. And I always say support local, Tampa Bay Times, tampabay.com/sports, tampabay.com. Support our friends, support our local writers, our beat writers for the Tampa Bay Times. He's got all the information in his article that he wrote yesterday. But get out there to the student center right out in front. 1 o'clock, that's when everybody's congregating, and then they'll be live from 2 to 3. It's going to be like a mini college game day. We got to get out there to the Marshall Student Center tomorrow, 2 to 3 o'clock. Get on out there, get your signs, go crazy, and yeah, shine a light, shine a big old spotlight on our Tampa Bay area. And then he'll be doing some live hits from Raymond James Stadium ahead of the game tomorrow night. A lot of national television games for USF, which has been such a great thing for Coach Alex Golish. Yeah, I'm jacked up. As excited as I am about this week, I can't help but look ahead to next week against Navy. I can't help. I know I can do that because I'm not the coach and I'm not the team. But man, I'm just think about how different. Like you win that game against Navy, it's like it opens up a world of possibilities. It really does. Can you imagine if USF plays in the college football playoff this year? Can you imagine that? Oh, my God, dude. Crazy. But that's where we're at. It's a possibility. God, go out and win those games. Come on, Golish. Come on, Byram. Excited for the green and gold. Excited for the future. And it's all about the leadership. And that's something we talked with Derek Brooks yesterday. He said that a guy like Todd Bowles doesn't get enough credit. And I agree. And you guys know my stance on Todd Bowles. You know my stance. And I've been one of his staunch supporters the last 2 years. And it's not just him. It's Jason Light. It's the Glazers. It's that whole one voice, that leadership. That's success, man. That's how you're going to be successful in any business, but especially sports, because it's so damn hard to win. And only one team is going to be standing at the end of the day, even if everything goes right. Right now, when you look at USF and you look at the just everybody lockstep, that's where success comes from. From the president to the CEO of athletics to the COO of athletics, right? To the coaching staff. Like, it's an exciting time to be involved with USF. And if you're not on the bandwagon, man, jump on right now, because there is a lot of great things going on with USF. And you see it. You see it with women's soccer, the big upset win that they had 3-0 yesterday. You see with the basketball teams, you see with baseball and softball. I mean, look, we've had Coach Ken Erickson on. We're going to have him on there in the next couple of weeks as well. Baseball, the game on Saturday, it's going to kill me not to be able to be there, because I'm coaching 4 games on Saturday before Sticks and Stools at night. I got games at 8, 10, 15, 12:30, and 2:45 in Auburndale. And I won't be able to be there as USF takes on UT at USF. It is killing me to not be there. Crushing. I've been waiting for this game for so long, but I will not be there, unfortunately, because I got to go out there and I got to do my thing. But it is what it is. It's a busy freaking day. And then Sunday back out there. Back on the field as well. That's just the way it goes, man. That is the way it goes. Make sure you follow me, guys, on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. Like and subscribe. Let's get the likes up. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter/X, kill that like button right now. Right now, kill that like button. Go ahead, kill it. Hit it again, and another time. Our guy Scott Reynolds from Pewter Report will join us here momentarily. Again, go to pewterreport.com for all the great stories and updates. Man, again, I was just telling you guys earlier on the show about the great stuff from Pewter Report. Bruce Arians, John Gruden. I was just watching the stuff with John Gruden. There's nobody better, man. There is really nobody better. And let's bring him in. The face that runs the place. That's what Matt Matera calls him.
Yeah.
Our guy, Scott Reynolds from Pewter Report. Scott, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Doing good, Jay. How are you? I'm excited about this Lightning team. Seems like they're kind of getting their act together now, which is fun. We've come to expect a couple things, right, lately. We expect the Buccaneers to be good. We expect the Lightning to be good. So when we had that kind of slow start, like, come on, John Cooper, like let's pick it up. And they certainly have, man. So
that's why you got to trust the leadership, right,
I
Scott?
know. That's right. That's right.
Trust the leadership. And I was just telling everybody before you hopped on and earlier on the show, I was watching the stuff with Bruce and John Gruden, and I was imploring everybody to go. And, man, it's just such a great be able to chat with those guys and to be able to get their perspective on this team. And Scott, you've been covering this team for so long. And I bring this up to our pal Ian Beckles a lot. Like, man, there's been dark days for the Buccaneers where people would go like this. Who are you a fan of? And people would go like this.
Yep.
And I understand the Brady years, but like right now, I feel like there's a lot of like proud people in the Tampa Bay area, not just because they're good, Scott, but the way they go about their business. Look no further than what happened with Mike Evans last year. Getting that 1,000 yards. I mean, this really is kind of a golden era for Bucs football, isn't it?
It is. And I mean, I'm saying this not to throw my own son under the bus or anything, but it's like, covering this team for 30 years, there was that decade of darkness, right? Between when John Gruden was fired and then before Bruce Arians got here, it was that Raheem Morris, Greg Schiano, Lovie Smith, Dirk Cutter era where we didn't see any playoffs. There was a 9-win season under Cutter, a 10-win season under Raheem, but a lot of bad football. I mean, the Lovie Smith era was the worst. Those 2 years were awful. Mm-hmm. What a terrible coach he was. And it's like my son Logan grew up in that era, and I brought him to training camp when we did Pop Warner together. I had players like Levante David, Davin Joseph, Gerald McCoy would come out. He had plenty of opportunity to become a Buccaneers fan, but the Baltimore Ravens were winning at that time. Ray Lewis, they beat the 49ers in New Orleans. They won a Super Bowl under his childhood, and the Bucs were terrible. So it's like, I can't fault him for being a fan of that. But now, like, if you are a father and you've got young kids, and you've watched this team for the past 5 or 6 years, like, they're really good. Yeah. You have all these stars: Mike Evans, Levante David, Tom Brady, back in the day, Baker Mayfield, now Mecca Buka, right? I mean, Chris Godwin. You've got a plethora of star players. The Buccaneers on Madden are good, and they have been for a long time now, going back to 2020. So it is exciting, and it's cool to see this. It wasn't just a one-off. It wasn't just the Brady years, right? Those 2020 and 2021. It was the continuation. It wasn't just Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield, it was also Bruce Arians to Todd Bowles, right? And I think that's key, because if you have ownership, general manager, head coach, quarterback, if you have that alignment, that totem pole there, done the right way, that's what leads to perennial playoff teams. That's what leads to division championships. That's what leads to not having that down year, or that rebuild where you got to blow the whole thing up and then start again. Big time credit to Jason Light for being the catalyst for all of this as the general manager, drafting well, to making the right decision in terms of coaching hires, assisting Bowles and getting these right offensive coordinator hires, and then of course finding Baker Mayfield and getting him on board to follow in Tom Brady's footsteps.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that. I was actually talking about that on the show yesterday, of having one voice, and you look at it through all success of all sports, right? I mean, that's part of the reason why the Lightning have been so good with Jeffrey Vinnick, and whether it was Eisenman or Brisebois and John Cooper. And it's just like, when you have that alignment, when you have that symbiosis, you can be successful. It's a lot easier said than done. We understand that. I had Derek Brooks on the show yesterday. We talked a lot of USF, and of course we talked about the Buccaneers, and he mentioned Todd Bowles. He went out of his way to say, Jay's like, Todd Bowles doesn't get enough credit. And you and I have talked about this kind of through the stages over the last year or so. What have you seen this year, though, Scott? Because we know we brought, he's made changes. Yeah. He brought in somebody to help him with the time and the clock management. And I just feel like it's a different guy. And I feel like it's an example to other coaches, and not just the NFL, but in all sports. Like, it doesn't matter how many years you've been in the league. You can adjust, you can change, you can adapt with the times. I feel like Todd Bowles is kind of at the forefront of that. And he's a big part of the reason why they're 6-2 as well.
You hit it right in the head. There's no doubt. He's 61 years old. He's going to be 62 this year, but he is not that old dog that doesn't learn new tricks. And I think part of it, what has helped him, is he doesn't have this static defense. Todd Bowles is known as a blitzer, right? Like, he runs a 3-4 scheme, but it's really a 4-2-5, right? When you're in nickel. But the blitzes that he has to come up with each week, each month, each year, they have to be different, because you put it out there on tape, and if you don't change, they're going to pick up all your blitzes, right? And so he's kind of had an evolving mindset, and I think that's the baseline for his success. If you look at Monty Kiffin, he was a Tampa 2 kind of guy, right? Right coach, right time, right scheme. But now you can't run Tampa 2 as your base defense. There's just too many two-beaters, right? It's a dead defense when they switch the rules. And when they took away that John Lynch enforcer strong safety across the middle and de-emphasized that with the rules changes, it's not the same defense. Just like the Bruce Arians offense, that vertical based attack, it's not as effective as some of these schemes we're seeing today. Lovie Smith tried to run the Tampa 2, and it got him fired. Right? So Mike Smith, kind of the same thing with his scheme. He was an old dog that didn't learn the new tricks. But with Bowles, I give him a lot of credit for adapting and for saying, hey, listen, I do need some help when it comes to clock management, game management, timeout usage, when to throw the flag, and all of that. And it's not that he just is standing there on the sidelines waiting for Zach Beislein to buzz him on the headset and say, challenge this, call the timeout here. It's not that he's a puppet on a string. It's that he has meetings with Beislein starting in the off season, starting in training camp, starting, at each week, and going through scenarios together, right? About what's going to happen and all of that, educating him. So Coach Bowles is more prepared. He can anticipate now what Beislein's going to say, because he's learned. And I think that's huge. So I loved everything Todd Bowles said and did this offseason, and I think he set the table for himself and this team to have success. And the ball hawks, him saying that in the offseason, we need ball hawks, really emphasizing it. We're seeing it now. We're seeing these couple of takeaways in each of these games now, and they're huge. They're paying dividends. The Buccaneers are +7 on the turnover margin this year, Jay. They were -6 last year. They're only team that didn't have a plus in front of the turnover margin in the playoffs. So a lot of credit goes to Todd Bowles. I will say this, as someone who's covered this team for 30 years and covered the Tony Dungy locker rooms, the John Gruden locker rooms, even the Bruce Arians locker rooms, this is the most, I'll say this is the most harmonious locker room. This is the everyone rowing in the same direction locker room. This is the lockstep groupthink locker room that even when the team was 0-4 during those two stretches in last year and the year before that we're kind of like scratching our heads. It's one thing to do it one year, right?
Right.
Then what is happening last year? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, what? Like, why is the team squandering these hot starts with these collapses in the middle of the season? And I'm not trying to like stir up any dirt or stir the pot, but I'd go to these players off the record in the locker room and say like what's going on? Like why have you guys lost 3 in a row now? Why have you lost 4 in a row? And it was all the same thing. It was nobody was jumping ship. Nobody's pointing fingers. We got to play better. It's that simple. We're not doing the things we need to do to win the games. And that's great because in years past, in different locker rooms, even under Dungy and Gruden, two of the top 2 winningest coaches of all time, there were dissension in the locker rooms. Offense versus defense, this player versus that player. And with Bowles, there's none of that. He doesn't tolerate that. And Jason Light and Bowles are also in lockstep when it comes to drafting the right players, signing the right free agents, guys that will assimilate into this team and become Buccaneers. And I think that's huge. And so to me, I give Todd Bowles credit for his calm, steady approach is absolutely working because if adversity does hit, injuries, sminjuries, right? Who cares? Like next man up, let's play football and let's go out there and win. And that's why this team doesn't panic because their head coach doesn't panic.
That's a great point, Scott. I mean, you hit on a lot of good things there. And I'm with you when people ask me, I said, that was my big thing of the support of Todd Bowles going into the offseason was it happened 2 years in a row.
That's right.
It wasn't like, oh, here we go again. Todd's messing up. Like, and I have some of those same conversations with you. And I didn't get one person. There was no sliver of dissension whatsoever, which is really, really cool to see.
That's right.
Love the jersey, buddy. I know last time we spoke, you were like, I got to get it framed up. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So now we look ahead, and now we look at 4 o'clock today with the trade deadline. And, everybody wants to put on their fantasy football hat. We'll trade for this guy, trade for that guy. And I was mentioning your article up on pewterreport.com. We were coming up with some different ideas, and it would be great to get a Jordan Brooks. I talked to Bailey last week about I think Calais Campbell would be a nice piece because you help the defensive line depth, and it's not going to cost you a ton. He played pretty freaking well last night too against Dallas. If anybody wanted to rescue him from Jonathan Gannon and the Cards,
and you don't have to play him later this season either.
Exactly, we don't want that, and that's why. That's why because I got a chance to talk to him when he played for Atlanta a couple years ago, and I said, what? And he was like, "Man, this game means so much to me." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I love Todd Bowles. I love him. We had such a great time in Arizona." I'm like, oh, that's really cool, man. Like he was just such a nice man. And he's a veteran, right? He's a pro. He's a pro's pro, regardless of how old he is. What do you think, Scott? Do they make any type of move here? I know what everybody wants to happen, but we also know Jason Light values these draft picks.
That's right.
I think he loves these draft picks as much as he loves his kids. I mean, he's just so damn good at it, right? You get it. But then you look at this entire situation going, man, it'd be nice. And we see it with the Lightning at times. You bring in a guy, it kind of gives a little bit of the boost to the team. It shows, hey, we're trying to exhaust every single one of our resources to make the team better. What do you think the Buccaneers do? Do they make a move by 4?
I wouldn't be surprised either way. I mean, I'm not anticipating one, so let me say that. But if they did, I mean, I certainly trust Jason Light. He knows this roster better than anyone. And it would have to be the right player at the right time, the right deal, and all that. And also, too, here's the one thing. We're not playing Madden.
Right.
Put down the controllers. This is not simulate the trade, right? And do this because there are other factors. There's the salary cap too, right? Are you getting a player that is essentially going to be a rental? Jason Light does not want a rental. He looks at a 3rd-round pick as Tyke Smith, Jalen McMillan, Jacob Parrish. He looks at a 4th-round pick like Bucky Irving, Cade Otton. He looks at a 5th-round pick like that's Servassier Dennis. That's Elijah Roberts this year. That's Zion McCollum. Even like a late pick like Tez Johnson, 7th-round pick.
That's the worst one.
I know. Yeah,
he looks the worst one. Like, people are like, "Oh, it's just a 7th-round pick," and it's like, "Yeah, well, Tez is a 7th-round pick." You're like, "Oh, crap."
Yeah, exactly. So I think maybe he's a victim of his own success and maybe not wanting to pull the trigger. And you have to understand the frame of mind for a general manager. Any good general manager has one eye on this season and one eye on the future, and that's how it has to be. He wants to build a Super Bowl team not this year, but Super Bowl team for next year and the year after that and the year after that. Because we all saw in 2021, probably the best Buccaneer team of all time, really. And the one that didn't win a Super Bowl because at the end, Antonio Brown decided to peace out. Chris Godwin got his knee destroyed by the Saints. And then Tristan Wirfs had a bad ankle sprain against the Eagles in the playoffs that cost him the game against the Rams. So I maintain to this day, give me one of those three players, just one, right, and they beat the Rams in the divisional round of the playoffs. Remember, they only scored 3 points in the first half. They're down, I think, 21-3 or 24-3, whatever it was. And then they had to make this furious finish. They came back and they lost that right at the end. One of those players would have made a difference because really it was Mike and Gronk that day for Tom Brady. And that was it. And you can take away, if you're a good defense, you can take away 2 players. You can. 3 is hard. 4 is impossible. When they had AB and Gronk and Godwin and Mike, that's why they won. That's why they won in 2020, because you can't take away 4. You don't have enough bodies unless you're playing with 12 or 13 on defense. So, I say that because when it comes to the trade deadline, yeah, I mean, this could be a Super Bowl season, right? We don't know how it's going to play out. 6-2 start, only happened 4 times. 2002 Super Bowl, 2021, Super Bowl or caliber team. They weren't. 79, very good team as well. So to me, I would be in favor of it if it's the right player. Also has to be the right person. You don't want to bring in a hired gun, right, that is going to like let's say you bring in a linebacker, Jordan Brooks right now. Let's just use him as an example, Dolphins linebacker. They bring him in. I don't know Jordan Brooks, first round pick out of Texas Tech a couple years ago, right? Don't know him. Could be a great guy, great locker room guy. I have no idea. Coming from a losing team, how is he going to fit in the locker room? Who is he going to replace? This is a starting caliber player, right? Is he going to replace Servassier Dennis? How is he going to feel if he doesn't? Right? He's not going to get in front of Levante David as long as Todd Bowles is coaching. He might be a rotational player. You rotate him in a little bit. What happens if he wants to start in December? Like, hey, Todd, I learned the defense now. Let me start. What if Todd's like, Servassier is playing pretty well, right? And you know what I'm saying? Like when you have when you have a great recipe, well, let me just throw a little bit more paprika in there. Well, that might ruin it, I'm just saying. So it has to be right player, right person, right compensation, and all of that. And then 2, do you want to keep this player for the next season or whatever? Because I don't think Jason Light wants to rent a player for a draft pick this year and then just kind of wash his hands with that the next year. Because again, he looks at draft picks, even day 3 draft picks, as I'm getting a potential starter or a really important depth piece for 4 years on a very favorable, affordable rookie deal. And I'm getting a young player as opposed to trading for a guy who might be 29, 30 or whatever. So a lot of factors that go into this. Again, we can force the trade on Madden, right? We can sit there and get the controller and force the scenario that will make it happen. But if a team says, I'm not letting go of this player unless it's a 4th round pick or higher, and Jason's like, I'll give you like a pick swap 5th for 6 or something, and it doesn't happen. So we'll see who actually gets moved today and who doesn't, and how many trades or how few trades there are at the end of the day.
Yeah, I from what I've heard on Brooks over the years, and again, it's always hearsay because we're not there. I mean, the fact that they were going with him as the guy to be the heir apparent to Bobby Wagner out in Seattle with Pete Carroll, I know that's meant a lot to a lot of people. But you're right. Like, okay, so you're going to trade for a guy like that. You're not. It's not going to be cheap, right? I mean, we just saw Jalen Phillips go for a 3. So let's say he's going to go for a 3. He's arguably their best defensive player. You're not going to trade a guy for a 3 and then not start him. Right. And then Servassier Dennis, who, again, Servassier Dennis is probably not the coverage linebacker that everybody thought. Right. But I tell you what, he's a better blitzer and maybe a better tackler than a lot of people thought. I mean, so you're not.
And Jordan Brooks is not the answer in coverage either. I mean, he might be slightly better, but he's not he's not going to solve all the problems for the swing passes.
No, of course not. I mean, I don't know who. I mean, we're judging Servassier Dennis on not being able to stop Bijan Robinson and Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. I think it's a little, maybe a little. I understand he may not be as good as people think, but it may be a little unfair to kind of grade him against 3 of the.
I even talked to Servassier Dennis about that for a Fab 5 article I wrote a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, we're talking about top 10 picks, man. We're talking about world-class athletes. And he didn't say, I'm a 5th round pick. But I mean, that was kind of the implication. It's like, look at the differential here. It's like, I mean, could Servassier Dennis cover Bucky Irving? Not in the flat. Probably better chance of doing that. Bucky's a 4-5 running back, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he could probably cover Rashad, but Rashad doesn't have Jahmyr Gibbs speed.
Right.
He doesn't have Saquon Barkley speed. And that's just the thing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What do you think about the injuries? I mean, we saw that the window's now open for Luke Gedeke, 21 days to activate him. Who do you think is going to come back first, Gedeke, Godwin, or Bucky Irving? And who do they need maybe back first?
I would say Luke Gedeke. I think getting that offensive line back would be huge. I just got a text here.
Good.
Did the Colts just acquire Sauce Gardner for 2 first-round picks?
Hold on.
Did that happen?
Oh, man.
Usually.
Well, Twitter's not working now. Did it break Twitter?
Did that trade break Twitter? I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. It's hard to be able to. This is the world we live in now, right? Like, you don't know.
Yeah. I'm just typing this in a speaker because that would be huge if it happened.
That's fine.
Yeah, ESPN source. Colts are trading 2 first-round picks to the Jets for Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing from Adam Schefter.
Wow.
Whoa.
Damn.
So there's your price.
Yeah.
There's your price when people are like, I'll just trade. I mean, Sauce Gardner, and again, I know Matt Matera has been following the Jets for his whole life, but Sauce Gardner is not the same guy as he was when he won Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Exactly.
And the Colts are going all in.
They are.
I mean, and that's what I'm sure fans in Indianapolis are going to be happy about that, Scott. I mean, this is a team that they're making Daniel Dimes. I know that the game last week against Pittsburgh didn't look great, but man, when they run the football and play defense, I mean, they're one of the better teams in the league, aren't they?
Yeah, and we have to keep in mind too. It's like when we sit there and say the Colts are going all in. If Jason Light doesn't make a trade, we're not suggesting that he isn't going all in.
Right.
Keep in mind this team has lost twice this year. Once to the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, who are on top of the NFC East right now. They're a division leader, right? The other loss was to the Detroit Lions, which you try to go up there and play the Lions in their den on Monday Night Football, coming off of a spanking by the Chiefs the week before. They're a damn good team. I mean, the Lions are going to be a playoff team, whether it's the Lions, whether it's the Packers, the Vikings, whichever team is coming out of the NFC North. They're a good playoff team. So it's not like this team stubbed their toe, right, against a bad football team. Now, that's what I really want to see from the Bucs down the stretch here, Jay, is they have 9 games left. 3 of them are tough just based on the records of the opponents they're playing. Patriots 7-2. And then I believe a pair of 6-2 teams, Buffalo and LA, in terms of the Rams. But then you've got a couple of games. The Panthers scare me. I think they're a very good team that they can play great at any given week. They can either play great or they can play like slightly below average.
It's a funny team, isn't it?
Yes. And that's the sign of a team that's figuring it out, right? They'll play above their talent one week and they'll play below their talent the next week. You kind of have these big seismic swings. And that to me is a team that will finish just above 500 and maybe threaten for the last playoff team, right? Or the last playoff spot.
They're a 9-8 team that's going to split with the Bucs. Like, it just seems like that's written in the cards.
Exactly. They're figuring out how to win, but they don't do it on a regular basis, right? Good teams like the Buccaneers, 6-2. Great teams to me, and this is what we're talking about down the stretch here. Great teams don't lose back-to-back games.
Right.
Okay. So if the Bucs beat the Patriots at home, which they should, and they go out to Buffalo and lose like they could, you come back and you beat the Rams. You find a way to beat the Rams. You don't lose 2 games in a row. When I say great teams, I mean like double-digit winners, like 12 wins, 13, 14 wins. Those elite teams don't lose back-to-back games. And that's what I'm looking for from this Todd Bowles team. You were good last year. You've got a very good start this year. Can you get to greats/elite? Can you do that? That to me is one litmus test. Don't lose a back-to-back game the rest of the way. The other one is get the stub your toe games out of your system, right? We saw that last year. The Buccaneers were incredibly hot. They were playing a Dallas team with a losing record last year with Cooper Rush at quarterback on Sunday Night Football. Should have won that game. Did the Cowboys beat the Bucs? Yeah, but did the Buccaneers beat themselves? Probably that just as much, if not more than the Cowboys showing up to play in that game and winning. So that's another mark of a great team. win the winnable games, but don't have that stub your toe game. Don't lose to the Cardinals at home. Don't lose to the Falcons, where they might be dead in the water on Thursday night, right? Against the Bucks in that creamsicle game coming up. Don't lose to the Panthers at home. If you're going to lose up there in Carolina on their home turf with their crowd. They're fired up and all that. So to me, I want to see those two things. Don't lose 2 games in a row, which I think is possible this year if this team can get healthy and stay healthy, and then don't have the stub your toe game. Be a great team. Win those games against teams with losing records. And if you're going to lose a game, lose it to the Bills, lose it to the Rams, lose it to another really good playoff caliber team that's threatening to win their own division.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I said, like, to people that are apprehensive, you're 6-2. If I would have told you would be 6-2 at the break and your losses came to the Eagles and the Lions, you're like, yeah, okay, we'll take
Sign me up.
Before I let you go, let me ask you about the Falcons. I think you said the same thing about you said with the Panthers, the team that's kind of figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of the topics of discussion when it comes to the Buccaneers is like, what's their identity, right? Are they a running football team? Are they a passing football team? Are they a defensive football team? I think you can just get to the point where, like, the Bucs just find a way to win. They're a veteran team with some young guys. They're finding a way to win.
Yeah.
I feel like the Falcons are on the other end of the spectrum. They
agree.
just find a way to lose.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to cost Raheem his job?
It could, and 2 points on that. And this is a great topic and great question here. And as I'm just kind of formulating my answer here for you, 2 things stand out. Number one, Raheem Morris at the end of the day was a John Gruden disciple, right? He came up in the ranks under John Gruden, part of that John Gruden coaching tree. It's just magnificent, right? Not just the offensive guys, but the Gus Bradleys, the Rod Marinellis, the Mike Tomlins, the Raheem Morrises. Those were the defensive guys that coached under John as well. Having said that, I give Tony Dungy and Todd Bowles an awful lot of credit for one thing. They could turn it around and finish strong. If adversity struck and they had a losing record, they had the willpower and they pressed the right buttons to have the Bucs finish strong, make the playoff push, and in Todd Bowles' case, win the division at the end and then make the playoffs. With John Gruden, it was like 12-4 or 4-12. I would want if the Bucs were 6-2, and you said, all right, remove Todd Bowles and put another Bucs coach in there. Who would you want it to be? Give me John Gruden 7 days a week. Because when the train is on the tracks, I want him as the conductor. He will go full steam ahead and just plow through everybody and get you to the playoffs. But if the train jumps the track, as it did under Gruden, he was not able to get the train back on the track. That's why you saw double-digit winning seasons, double-digit losing seasons. You never really saw that 8-8, under John Gruden. And whereas Dungy and Bowles, they have the ability to kind of turn that around. So, I think that's part of it right there. Raheem has not been able to get the train back on the track this year, and I'm not sure if they're going to. The other part of it too is the coaches change, but a lot of that team is the same, right? A lot of these players played under Arthur Smith, and they were 7-10, I think, was their record for like 3 straight years or something like that. So they're used to this. The Falcons are used to falconing. That's what they do. They falcon. They choke. And it's the here we go again, right? It's that mentality. And you can sit there and change head coaches. That's you're changing one guy. Right. You can't change 53 guys every year. You just can't do it. You can slowly churn your roster, but you maybe churn half your roster. But the problem is you're going to keep your good players. The Drake Londons, the Bijan Robinsons, they've been here for years. 2 coaching changes now, or 2 coaching staffs in place, and they're seeing it again. Like here we go again. Found a way to lose that one. That's hard. That's hard to overcome. Like the only way you overcome that is to go through it. It's like Days of Thunder. Only way to get back on that track is when you see the wreck is to drive right through the smoke, full speed ahead, foot on the gas, crash be damned. You can't slow down. You can't freak out. You got to go through it. And I think that's what caused the Buccaneers to go from losing a lot of these close games last year, overtime at Atlanta, overtime at Kansas City, the 23-20 loss to the 49ers with their walk-off field goal here in Tampa, right? Those close losses last year have turned into close wins this year because they just said, guys, we're going to have a better team. better players. We've upgraded our roster, and we're going to continue to practice situational football. Continue to practice 2 minutes, because that's when the games are won and lost, in 2 minutes, right? They put the work in. It's paying off dividends now. And for the Falcons, it's a mindset that you have to overcome. And I think the Falcons are in the downward spiral. I would be shocked if they came out of it. I think Carolina will finish second in the division behind the Buccaneers, and ahead of Atlanta. Dave Canales refuses, and I think this is part of just the mentality he has.
The optimist bully.
The optimist bully. That's a perfect way to say it. He will bully you into believing.
Right.
Okay. And that is who he is at his core, in his DNA. And that's why he got the coaching job. Raheem's a very likable guy. You want to win for Raheem, right? He's rah Raheem, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just different with Canales, right? He will make you feel good about yourself, even if you're a loser, right?
Yeah.
He will make you feel like you're a winner, even if you're a loser. And then soon enough, you're going to believe it. And that's what it takes. And I think with Raheem, it's oh crap, what are we going to do? Well, let's try to make these changes. And with Dave, it's just like, this is who we are. This is what we're building. It's a little bit more consistent than Raheem is, just even personality wise. And I think it's paying off for him, and you know who else is like that? Todd Bowles, just to come full circle. Todd Bowles is as consistent as they come. Not going to change a damn thing. This year, we're gonna stick with what we got and with what's working. And it is working this year, and it worked last year at the end of the season when they got back on track. And then he made the necessary changes he had to make in the offseason to make himself a better coach and to help build a better roster with Jason Light. And it's paying off.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We talk about the division and we don't even mention Cam Jordan and the Saints. The only love that they got this year, the most attention that Cam Jordan and the Saints got this year was from Jason Light's Twitter account. That is it.
Pewter Report, fails.
It never fails, man. That train is never late. It's a beautiful thing. Pewter Report, go check them out, guys. PewterReport.com, at Pewter Report. They do so many great things. Go watch the video. I was watching this morning with John Gruden, Bruce Arians, all the different articles, and of course, with breaking news happening on a day like today and every day during the week. Check them out. A lot of great stuff over there. Scott, always a pleasure. Thank you for making our show a whole heck of a lot better. I'd never trade you for 2 first round.
I appreciate that, Jay. Love you,
Have
man.
a great rest of your week. Love you too, man.
Too. Take care.
Bye. Good stuff as always, Scott Reynolds. I love Pewter Report, man. I go there every day, every single day. You don't want to be out. You don't want to be missing something. You just want to be able to go and make sure that everything is like. Sauce Gardner was like, wait a second, Sauce Gardner 2 1s, and it's funny because all right, now Twitter's back up. My God. Wow. Wow. So Rashid Shaheed is another guy. Rashid Shaheed's getting traded from the Saints to the Seahawks. Wow. Well, let's continue this NFL conversation. All right. Great stuff as always from Scott Reynolds. NFL trade deadline. Do the Buccaneers make a move? Do the Buccaneers make a move? Sauce Gardner, bro. 2. Oh, God. It's wild, man. A.D. Mitchell going to the Jets. So you get some help. So it's 2 first-round picks. Oh, the Jets, man. My guy Jake Asman's freaking out right now. I guarantee you. Sauce Gardner for 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell. My goodness. That is freaking crazy. Unbelievable. A big shout out to our partners. Honest Hammer Custom Builders, LLC, 813-244-0956 for all your residential and commercial needs. EverHealth, everhealth.org. Go check them out. everhealth.org. Our EverHealth injury reports tomorrow at 12:30 with Dr. Carlos Rodriguez. Our guy Eric Erlinson joins us at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to talk some Rays news right now, but listen, we got to talk about the NFL trade deadline and what's going on. Rashid Shaheed going to the Seahawks is a big deal. Because I told you, if you listened after the Buccaneers won that game against New Orleans, that dude is for real. His speed is on another level. And you saw it on the other night. It was a Sunday night. Cooper Kupp being out. That hurts them. And Jackson Smith and Jigba has been one of the top 5 receivers in the league this year. I mean, he's been incredible for Sam Darnold. And we know what he needs to be successful. You need balance. You know, they've invested heavily in that offensive line, but whether it's a guy like Kenneth Walker, whether it's a guy like Zach Charbonnet, right, you have to stay balanced for him, and you need to give him as many weapons as humanly possible. So now you're in a situation where you add Rashid Shaheed to when Cooper Kupp comes back and Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he is fast, man. Rashid Shaheed can motor. I love that deal for the Seahawks, and you knew that Rashid Shaheed was getting traded into the division. They weren't going to trade him to the Panthers. They weren't going to trade him to the Buccaneers. They weren't going to trade him to the Falcons. We knew that wasn't going to happen. But staying in the conference, it's like, whatever. What do the Saints care? They're terrible anyway. Again, the only love and only attention that the Saints have gotten this year is from Jason Light's Twitter account. I'm going to actually tweet that out to this point of the season. Before this trade. Interesting. Wow, unbelievable. And then Sauce Gardner for 2 1s. Wow, man. Shocking. Parsons was very surprising. This is shocking. And it's just for all the Jet fans out there that have gone through all the bullshit. I mean, my God. And Indianapolis is going for it. And this is what I love about sports. And I know it just as Scott Reynolds says, it's not Madden. I understand that. But with that being said, like as a fan, you love when your team goes for it. You love when your team is making a move to try and go, a move that puts you over the top. And it doesn't always work like that. I get that. People say, when's the last time? I understand. But still, you want to win. If you're a fan, you want to win the preseason. You want to win the regular season. You want to win the trade deadline. You want to win the postseason. You want to win the Super Bowl. You want to win the offseason. You want to win the draft. You want to win everything. You want to feel good about your team all year long. And when you make a trade, I mean, you feel good about yourself. And look at the Lightning last year. When you traded for Yanni Gordon, Oliver Bjorkstrand, you're like, yeah, man. Okay. Bring Yanni back. We like this. When you traded for Barclay Goodrow and Blake Coleman, okay, look at that third line. And I just saw a little while ago, Blake Coleman could be on the trading block. Do you bring him back if you're the Lightning? I don't think so. But miss that guy. Raiders also, this from earlier today, Raiders trading Jacoby Myers to the Jags in exchange for 4th and 6th round pick. So that's another piece for Trevor Lawrence. You got obviously Brian Thomas Jr. You got Travis Hunter. That's an interesting dynamic too with Brian Thomas Jr. We don't know because we don't obviously cover them as closely. We got to get our guy Jamal St. Cyr on with us because I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why we've gotten to the point where that there's an issue there because the team's been playing decent and big overtime win last week. So where's the dissension? How come it hasn't worked out as well as people thought? Because Brian Thomas Jr. looking into the season with Liam Cohen, like this is going to do well. This is going to work out. Falcons signing veteran kicker Zane Gonzalez following a workout this morning. The team is waiving Parker Romo, 11 for 14 on field goals and missed a late extra point in the 1-point loss to the Patriots on Sunday. Man, it is an unforgiving league when it comes to kickers. Unbelievable. Seahawks, what everybody's been wondering about the compensation. Again, Sauce Gardner going to the Colts from the Jets. Jets getting first-round picks in 26 and 27. That's such a steep price for a corner. And then the Seahawks are sending 2026 fourth and fifth round picks to the Saints in exchange for wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Unbelievable. Wow, man. Oh, man. All right, we'll stay on we're going to stay on for, a good, we'll stay on for long. I want to talk some Lightning here, but we'll wait for more deals to come down. Lightning in action tonight, 9:30 in Colorado against the Avalanche. Lightning are balling out. They are balling out 5 in a row. But when you look at tonight's game, okay, we see some interesting dynamic and interesting things happening with the Lightning. We know that Max Crozier, it looks like he's going to be back in the lineup tonight. So when I watch how this roster is constructed, there's going to be some tough decisions that John Cooper and the coaching staff and everybody has to understand, right? And they know that. I think the fans need to understand it. So, and I got this from Eric Erlinson. He joins us again at 1:00 tomorrow. It appears they have activated Max Crozier off injured reserve ahead of tonight's game at Colorado, meaning there's a good chance he'll be available to play. Morning skate is at 1:30, so it's about 19 minutes from now. He was injured October 14th. He's missed 8 games to date. I think, unfortunately, because I love the guy, I think this could be the end for Darren Radish with the Bolts. They're going to have to send him through waivers. I think they're going to send him back down to the AHL. And I'd be surprised if nobody claimed him because he has experience. He's got a good shot. He can help your power play. But as of right now, when you're looking at this team, you have Victor Hedman and J.J. Moser. They're not going anywhere. You got McDonough and Chernak. They're not going anywhere. They like Lilleberg, which is 5. They like Crozier. And you're not sending down Charles-Edouard Destoux. Like, he's just too good of a player. He's a factor. And that's the one thing I was worried about the Tampa Bay Lightning is, are they willing to make the tough decisions to send some of these guys down or to try to pass them through waivers? Because you got to play your best guys. With that being said, another decision is going to have to be made in the next 7 to 10 days when Nick Paul gets activated and he gets inserted in the lineup. What does that mean for a guy like Gage Gonsalves? Because I don't think Dominic James comes out of the lineup. And part of the reason why I think the Rays struggled last year, and part of the reason why I think people were disenfranchised with the Rays. Remember when they sent Chandler Simpson down? Remember that? It took the wind out of the sails of Rays fans. It's like, okay, we get it. And then it's like, oh, go send him down so we can learn center field. Bro, you're not learning center field in 2 weeks or a month or however long it took for him to stay down there. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And there's just certain deals you got to make. And you think you're making them for the betterment of your team, but like also for the fan base. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Play your best guys. Stop making moves for roster manipulation. And for all the talk about the Rays, like, trying to manipulate the roster and they're trying to do all these like fine things because they have to operate within the margins. Well, you haven't won jack shit the last couple of years. So what are we doing? Like, make some moves that make the fans happy at the very least, right? And as we've had this conversation, I mean, listen, some of these years might be lean ahead for the Rays, and that's not good. That is not good with new ownership, and we're still waiting on a stadium. Right now, everybody's locked into the Buccaneers, and you're locked in to the Tampa Bay Lightning because they're making moves to better their team. And if you tell me that Darren Radish and Gage Gonsalves are on the way out because Max Crozier and Nick Paul are on their way in. The best players have to play. They have to. If you're the Lightning, go up there and go get you the first seed. Go up there and win the division. Avoid that first round matchup with Toronto or Boston or Florida. Like, Jesus. Go play the freaking 5th best team in the Metropolitan Division in the first round. Get your feet wet in the postseason. But you don't make the playoffs at this time, but you lose, you miss the playoffs or you lose spots at this point of the season. Keep playing well. I want to see a low-scoring affair tonight against Colorado. I want to see what the defense looks like. And if Crozier's in there, especially, I mean, I like that. I like that there's an urgency with the Lightning. They haven't had it the last couple of years. They've been resting on their laurels way too much. Way too much. Bolts Breakdown, great name. Who do you think will be sent down to the AHL? I think it's going to be Gonsalves. He's a guy that needs to play. I understand that, but he's not the guy that they thought was going to be a top 6 forward. They gave him an opportunity because he did well at the end, but it just hasn't translated. He's a good playmaker, but I don't think he shoots the puck enough. I want to see Connor Geekie at some point get back up here. You're not going to have Gonsalves kind of waiting out the lineup, and we're seeing that with Jack Finley right now. I don't know what happens with a guy like Curtis Douglas. They're not going to get rid of Douglas before the game against the Florida Panthers. It's not going to happen. They're going to stay with him. He's going to be in that lineup that night because if anything gets fishy, and I'm going to try to get – when is that game? I'm going to try to get down there, even if I have to drive down. What is it? Not November? Oh, it's November 15th. Oh, that sucks, dude. Oh, that sucks. I'll be coaching next week. It's next Saturday. Shiitake mushrooms. Damn. How crazy is it? I'll be in November 29th. The Lightning are in New York against the Rangers. Should I go work that 2 o'clock game on Saturday, the 29th? Maybe I will. Huh. I did not recognize that. Do I have a suit? Should I bring a suit with me? Should I go cover that game against the Rangers? Maybe. Now I'm thinking about it. Good stuff. Thank you, Benny. I'll be in a tournament next week in Bradenton. So usually sometimes I'm in these tournaments and maybe they're out like West Palm Beach. Maybe I'll just pop down and be able to go check it out, but I have not. All right. Anything else going on for today? No. We saw that Logan Wilson went from the Bengals to the Dallas Cowboys a couple of days after Jerry Jones let everybody know. Still making sure there's no news coming out. So there he goes. Like Logan Wilson to the Cowboys. So there you go. Oh, another trade. Wow. Look at this, man. Oh, my God. What a deal. What a move. Oh, do you think if we call Ian, can you hop off? Oh, please, can you hop on? I need Ian to come on right now. I want to announce this with him on the show. Oh man. Oh man. No. Don't leave. Don't leave. There's another trade. It doesn't have anything to do with the current Buccaneers. Doesn't have to do anything with the current Buccaneers. It doesn't. But I have to. Ian has to come on. He has to come on. He has to come on. Come on, Beck. Come on, Beck. I said, I don't care where you are. Just hop on for 5 minutes, please. This is an Ian Beckles trade right here. Come on, Beck. Come on, Beck. Do not put it in the chat. Don't put it in the chat. Don't do it. Don't put it in the chat yet. Just wait. Be patient. Somebody just try to do it, Eddie. Don't do it. Deleting it. Come on, Beck. Come on. Come on, Ian. Come on. God dang. Ah, shit. All right, we got to give him like 3 minutes. Come on, Beck. Come on. This is the only way. Like, I would never ask him to do this. Big trade. Come on, Beck. Come on, buddy. He's probably in the middle of like a meeting or something. I'm just bugging his ass. I don't care. If he just texts me back, can't do it. I'm like, God damn it. Do I dare put my phone number in the? No, Benny. Oh, come on, Beck. Come on. Oh man, if he do I have his thing up here? Damn. Come on, Ian. Come on, back. Damn. There's another big trade in the NFL. There's only one person I want to break this news to, and he's not freaking shit. Come on, Ian. Damn it. Killing me, Smalls. How late did we give him? Did we give him 3 minutes? Oh, man. Let's go, Beck. Let's go, Ian. Where you at? Pick up the phone. Call the show. We need to talk about a trade. It's a big one, but not really. Your favorite player of all time. Nathan, do not ruin it, Nathan. Do not ruin it. Bengals. Come on, Ian. God, put me out here. Text him 5 times. Oh, he's killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. I'm waiting. These people are talking about these trades. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, let's do it. All right, we'll give him 60 seconds. My guy, Ian Beckles. Be patient. He will make. I don't know, man. I don't know, because I don't know where he is, because he'll tell me, like, if he can't make it, he'll text me. Be like, I can't make it. He doesn't do what's your call? I tried to FaceTime him the other day. He's like, I don't do that. Oh, God damn it. Damn it, Beck. You're killing me, Smalls. It'd be great if you joined us. It'd be great. This is the deal that only Ian can break. This news. Oh, my God. 10 seconds. Doesn't look good, folks. Doesn't look good. Big trade. Your favorite. Oh, no, I'm going to text him one more time. Your favorite player. That's my last ditch effort. I put your favorite player. No, I'm not going 5 more, Eddie. It can't be here forever. Oh, my God. Ian Beckles. I wonder if he's busy or he's just purposefully ignoring me right now. That's what friends are for. Good times, bad times. He'll be by your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. That's what friends are for. Oh, my God. Beck, you're killing me, buddy. You're killing me. All right, I'm going to give it to 128. There's a lot going on, man. Oh, here we go. Nick Paul participating in the Bolts morning skate here today in a regular jersey. There you go. That's good too. That is good as well. Damn back. All right, we're gonna stay on till 1:30. If he doesn't join us by 1:30, we'll sign off on the day. But I tried, guys. I tried, and I'll reveal the trade here in a little bit. Don't look it up. It's not that big of a. It is a big deal for our show. It's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but this is such a big deal for Ian because this guy is one of his favorite players of all time. See all the stuff with like the UFC fight fixing investigation? It's crazy, man. They released one guy. I'm like, God dang. That's nuts. Steelers officially signed Marquez Valdez-Scantling to their practice squad. That's good. Seahawks gearing up for the playoffs. It will be hard to beat with their moves. Yeah, man. I like what they do. I'm a big Mike McDonald fan. That dude's all over it. All over it. Heck of a player. See that Jim? Was it Jim Harbaugh? Jim Harbaugh's son is on his staff. Did you see that Sunday night? That was pretty cool. They asked him how he thought he was, or I guess they wondered like how he was going to move up through the ranks. And Jim told him, he's like, do what your Uncle John was able to do, special teams coach. And, you know, I feel like when you're talking about certain sports, I think there's certain positions and certain coaches where you have to like worry about everything and you have to worry about the fine details that it kind of helps you in the long run to be a head coach. That's why like catchers in baseball are good coaches and, you know, point guards in basketball, right? Because you kind of see the whole picture. It's not just about you. And I think for special teams, because you have to be so cognizant of so many different things that are going on and right, it's not just on one side of the ball and you're dealing with people on offense and people on defense and different personalities. Like there's just a lot that goes into it. So yeah, don't be surprised if you see, was it Jeff? I forgot what his name was, but good for him. Good for him. More hard balls, the better. Good for the sport. That is for sure. 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Ian Harold Beckles. I want you guys to go hit him up on Instagram because he doesn't go on Twitter. Go on Instagram. Be like, we tried to wait for you, Ian. We tried to get you on the program today to talk about your favorite player getting traded to the Bears. But no, you're too busy. You're too freaking busy doing your thing, doing your college football playing stuff, streaming stuff. Ah, man. We tried. 45 seconds. We'll see if Ian graces us with his presence. The clock is on. The countdown. Wait, can you guys hear this? There's like some like audio stuff on here. I want to see if you guys can hear this stuff. Can you guys hear this? You guys hear that stuff? Okay. There we go. There's some new stuff on here. These are kind of weird. Feeding the ducks. Hey, 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 hey. Like it. Yeah. This is nice. This is like the beat to spit on it. Yeah. 1, 2. Girl, that beat is fire. Hey, waiting on Ian Beckles. Where you at, dog? Is the beat gonna drop on this one? These beats are crazy. Okay. Lyrical Miracle Individual 1. NFL trade deadline. It's the time. Where you at, Ian Beckles? Can't find you. Can't find you. All right, the news from Shefty. Bears getting hefty. Bringing in JTS, Joe Tryon Shoyinka. I can't believe this trade actually came down. Oh my God, this is freaking hilarious, dude. This is hilarious. I gotta stop the music. These are fire, dude. That was that's some good stuff right there. I like that. We're gonna do that more on the show. Some beats. All right. So Joe Tryon Shoyinka gets traded from the Browns to the Bears. The Browns will send JTS and a 7th round pick to the Bears in exchange for a 6th round pick. What the hell? What the hell's going on? What Chicago? Y'all paying attention? What are y'all doing over there? JTS 8 games with the Browns, 0 sacks, 0 tackles for loss, 1 QB hit, and 9 tackles. 9 tackles. And he's been on the field for 6% of the defensive snaps this year. 6. Bro, that's pretty funny to me. I can't lie. We tried, Ian. We tried to get him on. All right, let's finish. Is there any other beats on here? Just these? Let's see. Feeding the ducks. I like this daydreaming one. Just waiting for Ian. Hey, do the Bucks make a move by 4 o'clock today? Don't think it's gonna happen. If you think it is, you're capping. Don't lie, dry your eye. Stick your foot in an apple pie. Michael Scott. Tell me you guys watched The Office of Michael Scott when he put his foot on the George Foreman grill because he likes to wake up with bacon. That shit was one of the funniest things I ever saw in the history of television. Oh my God, bro, that is crazy. The crazy stuff. All right. That's going to do it for me because Ian is a terrible friend. And we will remind him that he's a terrible friend tomorrow on the Recher podcast at 3:15, live from the Dignitary Cafe at 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard. Check them out. Check them out. Really, really good stuff. Sergio, appreciate the kind words. And thank you, Eddie, with the super chat today. LFG Heat, Panthers, and Bolts tonight. Going to be a full night. Full night is for sure. Big thank you to Scott Reynolds from Pewter Report. What a great, he was awesome. Awesome. It certainly was, Chris. Certainly was. Big thank you to Scott Reynolds from Pewter Report. PewterReport.com, at Pewter Report on all social media platforms. What a fun show today. I mean, obviously it starts with the conversation of, being a year, being a year since I left iHeart, but all good vibes, all good love. I appreciate everybody for all the love and the support, especially Honest Hammer Custom Builders LLC, 813-244-0956, EverHealth as well, everhealth.org, for all of your needs, people that have been with me since day one, all of our listeners here, the whole wrecking crew. I love you all, man. Thank you so much. Tomorrow on the program, the EverHealth Injury Report at 12:30 with our guy, Dr. Carlos Rodriguez. He's going on vacation Wednesday night. So we're moving from Thursday to Wednesday. He's going to join us here on the program. And then Thursday. Eric Erlinson tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll have Ed and Cena joining us at 1:30. Lightning in action tonight, 9:30 against Colorado. We'll see what happens when it comes to these roster moves because they are coming down. And the names, they will be a changing. JTS gets traded. We will never trade you. We'll never trade Scott Reynolds. We're trading Sauce Gardner. We're trading AD Mitchell. We're trading all these different guys. Shit is crazy. A 6th-round pick for JTS. What the fuck? That's crazy, dude. Crazy. Isn't it wild, though? Think about this. How wild is it that Jason Light won't trade a 7th-round pick because of what just happened with Tez Johnson? And there's other teams that just like flippantly throw out 6 and 7. Not a big deal. And they don't even like focus on their 3rd-day picks. It's crazy. And then you're looking for talent. Like if you're a team like Chicago, do you think JTS is going to help? Oh, he's going to get an opportunity. You would think. 6% of the snaps in Cleveland playing on the opposite side of Myles Garrett. Dude, what is going on? What is on with the world? Hey, real quick, I want to mention this real quick as well. Okay, I want to show this real fast. My friends over at 813 Preps. Okay, my guy Jared Guthrie does such a phenomenal job with the high school sports in our Tampa Bay area. I wanted to show you guys this because they really need our help when it comes to advertising. Like this is a real deal. And I was just talking to him last night. We got to help our guy Jared out. We really do, man. If you can help in any way, it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. Because it'll be here before you know it. Guys, please. I mean, if you could do whatever, like these kids to be able to get this type of exposure, like it doesn't happen very often. 813 Preps, the only local media outlet providing consistent coverage of the high school baseball scene in Hillsborough County. When you sponsor, you're not just advertising, you're investing in local sports journalism that celebrates student athletes and strengthens our community. Jared Guthrie, again, 813-951-686. Look, man, $2,000 there. Okay, feature $900. Game of the week sponsor $1,000. Like it's not a lot, man. It's not a lot. Whatever you can do, please, please help them. Because without him, and it's tough because we know that high school, like the paper, they just don't, there's not as much resources now. That's why we continue to talk about supporting local, right? They don't have that. You know, they don't have that. So please, please, whatever you can do to help out Jarrett. He's a really, really good friend of mine. I love the guy, and he does so much for our local high school athletes. So if you can, please, you can find it in your heart to share this on your social media platforms. Whatever you can do, every little bit helps, man. It really does. He's such a good pal. And again, 813 Preps, 813preps.com. They do a lot of great work. Please do what you can. Thank you very, very much. All right. I hope everybody out there is a better friend to their friends than Ian Beckles is to me. That's right. Throwing shade at the big man. He's probably out. I don't know what he's doing. Gallivanting around town. Hobnobbing with all the dignitaries around the Tampa Bay area. Too good to hang out with our pals here on the Jay Recher podcast. When we just wanted to talk about Joe Tryon-Shoyinka getting traded from the Browns to the Bears. But that's just the way it goes. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Again, follow me on all social media platforms. You guys are the best. We'll see you tomorrow at noon right here on the Jay Recher podcast.